Welcome everybody to the first edition of Sherman and Son podcast, and I've got my dad, David Sherman, right here. David Sherman Jr., if you want to be technical about it. Dad, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm a little worried about this podcast, but I'm doing great.
All right. Um,
Since you're in charge, I'm a little worried.
yeah. All right. Uh, do you wear a sweater and button down everywhere you go? Like what's the deal with that?
I would say in the colder winter months, Cooper, I do often wear a button-down shirt with a sweater, unless I am doing sort of a task around the house or volunteering at the animal shelter, or shoveling snow maybe. But I figured for this podcast, I had to get kind of gussied up.
I'm not sure you quite know what the podcast landscape is like. I mean, the podcasts that I listen to anyway, I think it's a lot different from the podcast that you listen to. They're not wearing formal clothes. They're just sort of wearing what I'm wearing or something similar.
You
Um,
mean like a dirty, worn out sweatshirt?
no, this sweatshirt isn't dirty and worn out. This is a nice sweatshirt. It's from Marine
Mhm.
Lair. Shout out to the folks at Marine Lair.
Well, I
Yeah.
hope you're going to get some advertising revenue from that little shout out.
Yeah. Um, yep. So, next question. So, you still get your haircut apparently. What's the deal with that?
Um, well, yes, I get my hair cut. Are you implying that I don't need to get my hair cut because I don't have that much
It
of
just
it?
seems like a waste of money.
Well, it would be kind of horrific for a guy in his 60s to let his hair grow long. I mean, have you ever seen guys who had the man flow thing going during the pandemic? It they really should have been ashamed of themselves for letting that happen to them.
Mm,
So I just have to make sure I keep up appearances, Coop. You know,
mm.
I have an image to keep up.
Wait, so you think hair would grow on your head if you didn't get a haircut?
It wouldn't fill in the missing places where hair used to be, but it would sort of grow long in the back and on the sides, and that would sort of have the Benjamin Franklin look. Do you know
Hmm.
who that is?
Yes, okay. I know who Benjamin Franklin is. What kind of question is that? What do you think I am? Stupid? Classic you, you know, asking me obvious questions. Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to be sure.
Okay. Well, and do you go to Justin Hunter Salon still in Portland?
I don't because I don't work in Portland anymore, so I just
Yeah.
go to a nice lady in Yarmouth who
Okay.
doesn't charge very much because, as you've sort of implied, I don't have
I don't
much
have a
hair
lot
to
of
cut.
hair. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Where Justin used to be twice as expensive.
Yeah, I mean that would not make any sense to
Right.
pay probably I don't know, it probably charges around 40 or $50 I would say.
Yeah,
So,
he
yeah.
did though. I
That's
like Justin a lot. Shout out to Justin.
yeah. All right, great. So, you go to Sugarloaf Mountain a lot. It's a ski mountain in central Maine for those who don't know. Do you still talk to strangers on the chairlift there a lot?
Uh, so the answer is yes. And the great thing about doing that, at least when I was with you, is that it would embarrass you
Okay.
and you would get upset with me for talking to strangers. So that brought me a lot of joy.
Oh,
Uh,
all
but
right. Yeah.
but now, and it was sort of a way to torture you as a youngster. But now, yeah, it's a way to make connections. You never know how you might have interacted with the person before.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, and you learn all kinds of fun facts.
Yeah, I mean, Maine is a big small town, as has been said. So Yeah, it's a really a small world in a lot of situations, and I don't think that that was the reason that you did that. I think that's just who you are. When I was a kid and we would go up to Sugarloaf, but
I think
yeah,
I think you're right. You're right.
that's a funny answer.
Well, you did a whole comedy routine at Waynfleet about the
Yeah,
fact that I talk to strangers.
yeah,
So I feel like I gave you a lot of material.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're a somewhat easy target sometimes to make fun of. That this reminds me of a bit I saw from another comedian called named Luke Moniz. So shout out to him. Giving a lot of shout outs on this podcast. Yep. And he said that boomer dads always text like they're writing an email, and that's definitely applicable to you. You text with perfect punctuation and grammar pretty much every time. This is a text that you sent to me last week. Hi, Cooper. I'm wondering if we could go to the Hearts of Pine store today at 4:30 instead, and maybe do the walk tomorrow. And I just want to let the record show that in the next sentence you said, "My knee is sore, comma, unfortunately, comma, and I think I need to rest it." So you don't need to address, first of all, you don't need to address me in the text that you send me. I mean, that would make more sense if you're texting someone that you haven't texted before and you don't have their number saved. Just be like, hey, John, it's Cooper, or something like that. So, if it was me. So do you know that you don't need to write every text like an email, and it's like it's not illegal to not use punctuation and stuff like that in texts?
Well, this has been a very educational podcast, because I thought that you should use punctuation and proper grammar.
Well, younger people
Um,
don't do that. Just
well, and that's
yeah.
why the we're going to hell in a handbasket.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I remember you seem to point out a lot of things that I do wrong, so I'm very grateful for that.
Okay.
And if you
Great.
think I'm being sincere, well, feel free to believe that.
Yeah. So you were a lawyer in Portland for a while. You did civil litigation, if that means anything to anybody watching. So basically, you said when you explained what type of law you did, that it was basically just rich people fighting over money, whether it was land disputes or trusts after a family member has died. So I'm curious, what was your favorite part about being a lawyer? He can't think of
Uh,
anything. He hated it. He just did it for the money. It's pays well, but it's just you're there 8 hours a day. You don't like it, but it's like it makes a lot of money, and that's what you cared about.
I feel like I'm being cross-examined. Cooper, have you
Yeah.
actually given any thought to going to law school? Oh,
No,
wait, you wouldn't be
hell
able to
no.
get up on time for class, would you?
N-
Would you?
Hey, what I didn't even I had a class at 8 a.m. in college once, so I didn't need to get up for college. So I planned my schedule accordingly. And I was on the dean's list in college. Were you ever on the dean's list in college?
All the time.
Oh,
It's,
really? What
yeah,
what years?
1981 through 1984. There you go. So what did I like the most about practicing law?
Yeah.
I liked working towards a solution, and most cases, as you probably are aware, actually you probably aren't, because anytime I talked about my job, you sort of left the room or
Yeah.
yawned.
That's
Um,
true. Hmm.
but a lot of cases resolve before you get to a courtroom, so it was gearing up for a trial, but trying to gear up for a resolution. I had a lot of nice clients. I liked working with them. And I loved my colleagues at my old law firm. It was a great group of people.
Okay, great. I actually just got a text from Ross about a question.
That's
It
it.
always seems like when we lived together, you were always on the go. You couldn't sit still for more than 15 minutes. How do you respond to that?
I guess sometimes members of my family would say that I had a hard time relaxing.
Yeah,
Little did they
exactly.
know I just wanted to get away from them. No, that's not true at all. I just yeah, I guess I am tend to be on the go. I guess that's it for long periods of time watching a TV program or going to the movies, um, or on a long chairlift ride.
It's,
You had to
yeah,
sit there.
I don't think a chairlift ride is quite 15 minutes.
So are you getting questions from people in the family or friends? Or,
That was the Ross was the only person I texted for questions.
oh,
Because
okay. You
I
didn't
thought,
bother to text Sam. You don't trust Sam to come up with good questions.
well,
Oh, he's the middle brother, by the way.
Sam's
I think your brother Ross is pretty astute in that I tend to be on the go from the time I get up till the time I go to bed. But yeah, I mean, I sit for dinner, sometimes lunch. Um,
I don't think that really counts. But like besides mealtime, yeah.
now, do you have an easy time sitting down for long periods of time, Cooper?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's a
great.
shock.
Hey, like you talked about watching a TV.
Yes.
Seems like a lot of nights when you would watch TV, you would fall asleep slightly after. So, yeah,
Does that count as sitting
I'm
down?
not so really sure that really counts because, yeah, you're sitting down, but you're also not awake. And yeah.
Like, I have a hard time staying awake watching television.
That
Unless it was Modern Family on Friday nights at Sugarloaf. I'd stay awake for that.
Oh, that was a classic show. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta love the TV shows that just play in episodes right after the other, and it's like a marathon of the same show for multiple hours. I love that. Also, like Impractical Jokers on True TV,
Ugh.
they like had just it seems like that was the only show that was on True TV. Sometimes it would just be endless episodes of Impractical Jokers. What about Billy on the Street? That was another show that I liked. What are your
Wait,
thoughts?
is this about, are you asking yourself questions now, or are you asking me that question?
No, I'm asking you that question.
Okay.
Why would I be
I
asking myself a question? That doesn't make sense.
I did like that show a lot. I thought that was very funny. But again, I can only take so much of it. Sort
Mm.
of like Family Guy, I can only watch it for so long.
Oh, yeah. And there's
Then
Bear. Bear just went by in the frame.
oh,
All right.
where is it? There he is.
Hey there,
Yep.
Bear.
Yep.
Bear.
He's wondering what the
Oh,
heck is
I
going on.
I think I thought he recognized my voice. Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting a little agitated because it's 3 o'clock and dinner's only 2 hours away.
Wow. It's
I
just
know.
early dinner times for these dogs. And
I
that's
know.
Hazel.
Yeah, Hazel's wanting me to feed her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway,
What a duo those two are. So that's it for today. Thanks to Dad for being on the pilot episode of Sherman and Son. We'll see how this does if anybody likes it. Yeah, Dad, Ed, got any final thoughts before we sign off?
nope. But
Oh,
appreciate
great
you.
podcasting.
Appreciate you having me on as your guest. And maybe next time, can I have questions for you?
Yeah, yeah, sure. That would be great. That would be
Okay.
cool.
I'll ask Sam and Ross for some suggestions. I'm sure they'll have many.
Yes, I'm sure they would. And I think I would give longer, more detailed, and frankly better answers to the questions that you have, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you probably will.
Yeah.
You're,
All right.
all right, Coop, that was a
So
lot of fun. Thank you.
yeah. Thanks, and we'll see you later, everybody.